$84 trillion is set to change hands over the next 20 years. Whether you're passing it down or inheriting it, the decisions you make today will shape your family's financial future for generations. Welcome to the Great Wealth Transfer, where David Paulsini, CFP, guides you through the strategies, insights, and pitfalls of navigating one of the largest financial shifts in history. What you don't know could redefine your legacy.
A lot of people ask, or if they're not asking, they may be thinking, hey, how do I know if I'm really ready to retire? And what I have found is they're not typically asking about the spreadsheets or the software. They're asking about confidence. And they just want to know, and you may be asking the same thing, will I be okay? Will my family be okay? Am I truly prepared, or am I missing something? So today I'm going to walk through the 5 real signs that you're actually ready to retire. And it's the same ones that I've seen over and over again with the hundreds of families that we've helped. And I can tell you right now, most people think they're missing money, but the truth is they're usually missing clarity. Okay, so the first sign here is, I'm going to give you 5 signs. Sign number 1 is you know your retirement number. So you're ready if you know the number, and it's not based on, it is based on reality, not based on headlines, okay? This is the big one that people think they need to start with. How much do I need? And here is the real sign of readiness. You know your lifestyle number, not someone else's. So not $1 million, not $2 million, not what your neighbor has. We need to know what you spend, what you want to do, what you want to give, and then where will the money come from, okay? If your plan answers, how much do I need each month, where does it come from, and what happens if things change, you're already ahead of 95% of people, okay? Sign number 2 that you are ready for retirement. Your income plan is built, tested, and it's tax smart. We talk about that a lot. You're ready to retire when you can answer the following questions. Where does my income come from? What order do I take withdrawals in? What's my Social Security strategy? How do I avoid paying more taxes than I need to? And how long will this last, even in a bad market? So if you can clearly see your guaranteed income, the flexible income, the tax-free income, and then required income, and you know which accounts you take from first, you're no longer guessing. You are then deciding, right? A strong income plan is one of the biggest predictors of retirement confidence. Again, we want that confidence. So, third sign, you have a plan for healthcare, and this is the one that most people miss. Healthcare is currently the number 1 unexpected cost in retirement, and most people worry about it way too late. So you are ready to retire when you know how to bridge that healthcare gap before Medicare kicks in, okay? What your Medicare premiums will be is important, and we're going to want to know that. How do IRMA brackets affect you? Okay, so are we going to have to pay more based on our income? And then how much more do we have to pay? What long-term care options do you want? How you'd pay for care if it's needed for long-term care? Who's responsible for these decisions, right? So who's walking me through all of this? So when someone comes in with a complete healthcare plan, this is rare, but I know immediately they're thinking ahead, they're serious, they're ready, and they're looking for clarity in their retirement. And if they're coming in with that stuff done, usually they're in a really good place, mentally at least, right? So sign number 4 here, you have a tax strategy that looks forward, not backward. This is where the biggest financial mistakes happen. You're ready to retire when you've looked at Roth conversions, RMD planning, Social Security taxation, our capital gains strategy, the withdrawal sequencing. I've talked about that quite a bit in the last few episodes here. So what your tax rate will be in the future and not what it is today. Where are we headed? Okay. Too many people assume their taxes will go down in retirement, but if all of your money's in 401ks and IRAs and taxes increase in the future, that's a dangerous plan, right? What if taxes go up? No fault of our own. So a real retirement plan answers, how do I pay the least amount of tax in the next 20 to 30 years? And when you've built that strategy, you are prepared in a way that most people are not. All right, and then sign number 5 to wrap this up. You know what you want this next chapter to look like. And here's the truth. Retirement isn't just about money. It is about identity. Okay, you're ready to retire when you can answer, hey, what do I want to do every day? How do I want to spend my time? Who do I want to be around? Who do I not want to be around? What gives me purpose? How do I stay healthy, engaged, and connected, and all of those things? We do need that sense of purpose and clarity, okay? I've worked with hundreds of retirees. The happiest ones are the people who retire to something, not from something, okay? So when your calendar has meaning, when you know what you're excited about, that's when retirement feels like freedom, not uncertainty, okay? Let me give you a bonus sign. I was just thinking of this as we were talking about the test before, but you've stress tested your plan. Most people have a retirement idea, not a retirement plan, okay? Your plan is ready to work even if the market drops, if inflation rises, healthcare costs keep going up, one spouse passes first, you live longer than expected. If your plan still holds up under all of those things and under that stress, guess what? You're probably ready, okay? If you've listened to these 5 signs and thought, hey, I'm close, but I'm not quite there, you're certainly not alone, and that's exactly what planning is for, okay? If you want help with this, or you need some clarity, or you want to gain some confidence, and you want a real roadmap for the next chapter of your life in retirement, connect with us at 6 Point, book a time with us, talk to one of our advisors, but for now, make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Great Wealth Transfer Podcast. If this podcast resonates with you, reach out to 6 Point Financial Partners at 585-485-6048 or email dpaulsini@6pointfp.com.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Results will vary. Past performance is no indication of future results or success. Market conditions change continuously. Information here is provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither 6 Point Financial Partners, Private Client Services, nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of 6 Point Financial Partners. They do not necessarily represent those of Private Client Services, RFG Advisory, their employees, or their clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by 6 Point Financial Partners or RFG Advisory, or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory LLC, RFG Advisory, or RFG. A registered investment advisor. Private Client Services, 6 Point Financial Partners, and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place.